Google Pixel 10a, everything we know so far. The Google Pixel A series has always been about balance. It's the lineup designed for people who want the core Pixel experience. Great cameras, clean Android, and smart AI features, without paying flagship prices. And now, attention is slowly turning toward Google's next affordable phone, the Google Pixel 10a. While Google hasn't officially revealed the device yet, a mix of leaks, certifications, and industry rumors have started to paint a clearer picture. Some of this information is exciting, some of it is a little underwhelming. So in this video, we're going to break down everything we know so far about the Pixel 10a, including the expected release date, price, design, specifications, and most importantly, what Google needs to get right if this phone is going to stand out. Let's dive in. Expected release date and pricing. Traditionally, Google launches its A series phones around May. That's been the pattern for years. However, Google surprised everyone with the Pixel 9 by breaking that schedule. And it looks like the Pixel 10 could follow the same early launch strategy. According to well-known and generally reliable leaker Bill Kuhn, Google is expected to open Pixel 10a pre-orders on February 18th, with the official release happening on March 5th, 2026. This early March launch timeline was later supported by another respected leaker, Evan Blass, which adds more credibility to the rumor. If this information is accurate, we're only a short time away from seeing Google's next budget-friendly Pixel hit the market. Now let's talk about price. Because for the A series, price is everything. The Pixel 9 launched at $499, the same price as the Pixel 8 before it. So far, there's no strong evidence suggesting a price increase for the Pixel 10a. A leak from French publication D-Labs suggests that Google plans to keep pricing consistent in Europe, with the 128GB model at €549 and the 256GB version at €649. If Google sticks to the strategy globally, the US price should remain at $499, which would be a huge win, especially given rising component costs and ongoing RAM shortages in the tech industry. Keeping the price stable could end up being the Pixel 10a's biggest advantage: design and display. When it comes to design, don't expect a dramatic overhaul. Leaked CAD renders suggest the Pixel 10 will look very similar to the Pixel 9a. That means a flat frame, a familiar camera bar, and a clean, minimalist Pixel aesthetic. The rear camera setup appears to include two lenses, just like its predecessor, and there's no indication that Google plans to add a telephoto lens this time around. One subtle but noticeable change is the thinner bezels. While the overall design may feel familiar, slimmer bezels could give the Pixel 10 a more modern and polished look, especially from the front. According to certification listings spotted by Evan Blass, the Pixel 10a is expected to feature a 6.285-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. If true, this would match the Pixel 9a's panel and continue to deliver one of the smoothest display experiences in the mid-range smartphone category: cameras. Cameras have always been one of Pixel's strongest selling points, and the Pixel 10 looks set to continue that tradition, at least on paper. Leaks suggest the phone will include a 48-megapixel main camera with an f/1.7 aperture, paired with a 13-megapixel ultra-wide lens at f/2.2. These specs are identical to the Pixel 9a, which means we're likely looking at a familiar photography experience. While there's no telephoto lens here, Google's image processing is historically made up for hardware limitations. So even without major camera upgrades, the Pixel 10 could still deliver excellent photos, especially in low light and portrait scenarios. Performance and hardware. This is where things start to feel a little less exciting. Current rumors suggest that the Pixel 10 will be powered by the Tensor G4 chip, rather than the newer Tensor G5 expected in the Pixel 10 Pro models. That means performance gains, if any, will be minimal. The phone is also rumored to ship with 8GB of RAM and UFS 3.1 storage, which is noticeably slower than the UFS 4.0 storage used in higher-end Pixel models. For everyday use, this won't be a deal breaker. But it does reinforce the idea that the Pixel 10a is more of a refinement than a leap forward. In short, don't expect flagship-level performance. This phone is clearly designed for reliability, not raw power. Battery life. Battery life is one area where Google could really make a difference. But so far, it looks like things may stay the same. Leaks point to a 5,100 watt battery, identical to the Pixel 9a. On the previous model, that battery delivered around 13 hours of usage, which is decent but not class-leading. If Google sticks with the same battery capacity and chip, we're likely to see similar endurance. While that's not bad, it's also not exciting. A larger battery or better efficiency would have gone a long way toward making the Pixel 10 stand out. AI features and software. One disappointing rumor is the possible absence of Magic Q, Google's proactive on-device AI assistant feature. This tool, designed to understand user context across apps and services, could have been a major selling point for the Pixel 10. If Google removes or limits AI features on the A series, it risks weakening one of Pixel's biggest strengths. The best way for Google to differentiate the Pixel 10 isn't through hardware. It's through smart, useful AI at an affordable price. What we want to see. Based on everything we've heard so far, the Pixel 10a is shaping up to feel more like a Pixel 9 or refresh than a true next-generation upgrade. That doesn't automatically make it a bad phone, but it does put a lot of pressure on pricing and software. If Google can keep the price at $499, optimize battery life, and deliver meaningful AI features, the Pixel 10 could still be one of the best value phones on the market. But without those advantages, it may struggle to stand out in an increasingly competitive mid-range space. At the end of the day, the Pixel A series has always been about smart compromises. The big question is whether the Pixel 10a's compromises will still feel worth it in 2026. And that's everything we know so far about the Google Pixel 10.